like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
Hello, I'm Cassie Faye Hayden. Welcome to my channel. Trying to get that sit up a little bit more. There we go. And this is my sweet Calico. Yeah. I have good news today and bad news today. Unfortunately, the bad news is that Callie had a week worth of not wanting to feed her kittens. And they wouldn't take to formula or pate. So she lost the whole litter except for one, except for Cherubim. And look how big and cute he's getting. He's super fluffy. His face does need cleaned. But he's super big and fluffy and cute. And he's very sweet. And he's very playful when he wants to be. Yeah, he's playing with me this morning. You playing with me this morning? I'm very disappointed she lost the rest of her kittens, but at least she didn't lose him. And now she's back to feeding him, and he is taking pretty well to the pate. So I think either way he's going to be fine. I think he's going to grow up pretty well, except he keeps trying to clean himself, and he doesn't know how to do it yet, so he keeps poking himself in the eyes, which is why his eyes are so dirty. Why his face is so dirty. So, he'll learn how to clean his face. He's trying to clean his face right now. he doesn't know how to do it. He'll learn, won't you? Yes, you will. Yes, you will, Cherubim. Yeah, you'll learn how to clean your face. You're a good boy. Yes, a good, sweet boy. So, here's Cherubim. Getting big, very sweet, very playful. And he's very smart because he's started mimicking a lot of stuff. Not just what his mom does, but a lot of things that I do as well. So, it's very, very cute, and he's very, very intelligent. So, he's doing really well. But again, I am still very disappointed she lost the rest of her babies. Just like Katarina lost all of her babies. I think also part of the problem with her losing her babies was that Katarina dried up. And she's a first-time mom, so first-time moms, even with humans, comes with complications like having not enough milk to feed their babies. And sometimes you dry up a lot faster than you should. So she didn't really have a whole lot of milk. They were failure to thrive. So they could, even bottle feeding, they couldn't get enough nutrients in them to survive. So unfortunately, Callie's kittens just wouldn't take the formula. Hers took the formula, but they just, no matter how much she fed them, or Callie fed them, or I fed them, they just, instead of gaining weight, were just losing more and more and more. And however, unfortunately, with Callie's litter, they just wouldn't take it. I don't know why, they just wouldn't take it. They wouldn't take the pate, they wouldn't take the formula, and she would not feed them. As you can see now, she's loving being a mom again. Right back to to wanting to clean him despite the fact that he wants to play. Yeah, he wants to play. Yeah. You getting her? You getting your mom? Yeah, you getting her? Now, the good news, because, Cherubim surviving is very good news, but losing the rest of his siblings, not so much. The good news is my beautiful, beautiful spell. Oh, I know, honey. I'm going to put you right back. My beautiful spell has had her litter. Yeah, she finally had her litter. They were born on Sunday, so they're a few days old. And she has a set of twins. They have names. I can't tell them apart, so I can't tell which is which. So one of these two is is Prayer, and the other one is Spirit. But I can't tell them apart. So we won't know which is which until I can get like little kitten collars. You know, those things that breeders use to put on kittens to tell them apart. I never bought them before because usually there's so many diverse colors in my litters that I don't tend to need them. So I've never bought them before. All right. So those are the twins. And then here we have Bless, who looks like her mommy. Black calico like her mommy. And I named her Bless because she's got a little dot on her head like Angelique did. But I think it kind of makes her look like she's anointed. So her name is Bless. Oh, I know, honey. You want your mommy. And I took you away from her. I will put you back. There you go. There you go. And then this one, who also looks like her mommy, oh, Black Calico. Her name is Faith. Hi, Faith. Yeah. And she beautiful. Yeah. And then this one, this handsome little Bombay here. His name is Seraphim, like cherubim. Yeah, angels, little angels. Yeah, I think once they get bigger, while I'm yelling across the house for them, so they don't get confused, because like when you're yelling it, I bet Seraphim and cherubim probably sound very, very close to the same name. So I'm thinking when they get bigger, I'll go by the very obvious nicknames of Cherub and Seraph. So, but anyway, so that's Spell's litter. I'm very disappointed that we lost Katarina's litter and most of Callie's litter. It's unfortunate. It's sad. Nothing I could really do about it. I tried. I really tried. I mean, that's the whole point of buying, formula just before the kittens are born, just in case they need it, in case you need to hand feed the kittens, and, I knew her litter was getting, to that age where they needed to start being weaned because their eyes were open. They were starting to get front teeth. So, I was already trying to start weaning them. So Cherubim took to the weaning pretty well, but, he still can't eat meat yet because he doesn't have his fangs or his back teeth yet. So I'm still working with him on like kind of gravy broth from Pate. We picked up a whole bunch of little soups. I swore I was never gonna buy those. Because for big cats, they're kind of pointless. But for kittens, it seems like a really good way to get them to start weaning onto the flavored broth than when they're not ready for the meat of the pate yet. Um, and then slowly transfer them in onto pate, and then from pate to kibble. Um, I I don't know why I didn't think of using the little soups before, but it's working. And if I end up with too many by the time these ones are all weaned, then I can mix it into their dinner, you know, every other day when I make them their cat dinner. Yes, I make my cats a dinner. They get kibble every other day, and then they get dinner every day. It used to be kibble in the morning and dinner at night, but they don't eat their kibble and their dinner fast enough for it to work out that way. And the reason I do this is because if you feed your animals, your cats and your dogs, especially cats, if you feed your cats too much kibble, they can get very sick from it. I've seen kidney failure. I've seen bladder reflux disease that actually did in fact kill them. It's horrific. There are all kinds of illnesses they can get from all the dyes and stuff in the kibble if you only feed them kibble. So I make them dinner every other day so that they're not getting too much kibble, but they're still getting enough kibble to be healthy. So you don't want to cut out the kibble entirely, because if you only feed them human food, and pate and whatnot, they still won't get the nutrients that they need from the kibble. So you still want to give them kibble, but you also want to give them an alternative food. See, I actually mix the human food with the pate, so I always have pate. You can use real meat, but that gets expensive, and I kind of can't afford it, and I kind of need the meat for me because I have anemia and protein deficiency, so I need it for myself. And I can't get enough meat into this house to feed myself to begin with, let alone feed the cats. So, pate. I mix their pate with some things that they need around the house, to help with their nutrients, give them the nutrients that they need. It Mixing the pate with the human food actually makes it go farther, and they're getting more of what they need than just basically the meat. So it is very good for them. I also add other things that have meat and flavors in them. Like I put soup in there to help with the meat flavor content. But anyway, it's very good for your cats to make them something to eat aside from just the kibble. I mean, there are certain things you can't put in their dinner. You gotta be very careful. But I've been breeding for so long that I know what to use and what not to use. It may be better if you don't know what to use, to ask a vet what you can make cat meals out of, or to go online on YouTube and find people making cat food recipes. There's this one lady that does it, and she makes them in bulk, but she uses like real meat, and like she doesn't do it the cheap way like I do. She like goes all out. I do it the cheap way because I live on disability. I can't afford to do it the expensive way, or else I would. If I could afford to do it the expensive way, they'd be eating the way they do when they live at Sam's house in his shed. Because he spoiled them more than I do, and I'd spoil them pretty well. So before I got the dog, every time I went to the store, they got new toys. They, like I said, they get dinner every other day. They get unlimited amount of attention. They sleep with me. They have their own furniture. Yeah, they're spoiled. But so and then they also have like these new things where they like they make it yourself themselves and then package it and sell it to you. Like there's commercials all over now, like about this food for cats and dogs that's like real food that you keep in the refrigerator. The commercial is like someone comes over and they notice the pet food in the refrigerator, and they start acting pissy, and like you give your cat real food, you give your dog real food, and then the pet owner's like, really? Bye. Next thing you know, you see them slamming the door in their face, and then they're loving on their animal. That's how I feel about it too. You want to come in my house and give me shit about my animals? Bye. They live here, you don't. I love them. They're my children. Don't come in my house and give me crap about my animals. It won't end well for you. But yeah, they'd be getting kicked out too. Bye. But so they make those and you can buy those. I would think that it would be pretty expensive in comparison to making it at home with like a can of pate and like a few other household foods like potato flakes, something carb like to add to it as a filler, a little bit of quick oats. You don't want to use rice or corn unless it's been ground into dust, okay? Because they cannot digest it solid. You can use it if it's ground into dust, but otherwise don't put it in cat food because cats can't ingest corn or rice when it's still corn and rice. So there's that, and then there's other things that you can't put in there, but I also use soup. I have soups that I make for myself and soups that I make for them, in case I haven't had soup in a while. They have their own soups that I'll make a big bowl of, and then like just keep it in the fridge and just kind of add it to their food every day if I don't have leftover soup from me. And then I put a little bit of bacon grease in there so that to try to help them bulk up, because I don't feel like they're gaining enough weight, and I feel like the bacon grease is kind of good for them also because they are carnivores. Cats are carnivores. So there's that. What else do I put in there? I mean, obviously you have to have water for the mashed potatoes. Normally when you make this, you would use more natural more homemade ingredients. So you would use cubed potatoes, and like real potatoes instead of mashed potatoes. But mashed potatoes is like the cheapest kind of potato you can get. And it's quick and it's easy and they like it. And even when the kittens start eating pate, they can automatically already eat this. So and then I put like 2 cans of pate in there also. Now if I was only feeding them pate, I would be going through 7 cans of pate every other day. Now this not only extends the pate to the point where I'm only needing 2 cans, but it also gives them more nutrients that they need that isn't in pate. So you don't have to use my recipe. I don't care. You know, I'm not trying to get you guys to do what I want, what I do. But if you want to use my recipe for your cat food, it is the quickest and easiest and cheapest way to do it. But there are better ways to do it that are more expensive, like using cute potatoes and using real chicken and real beef and whatnot, cooking it down and then using the broth from that to add to the potatoes and whatnot. But I can't afford to do that. If I could, I would. I'd rather do that than make it the way that I make it, because it feels sloppy to me the way that I do it. But again, like I said, I've got to work with what I've got to work with my income. So I'm working around my budget. So if you guys want to try my recipe, now for carbs, you can use all kinds of different things. For the most part, I use cheese puffs because they like them. I don't really feel that that's the most healthy version of carbs to go with, because they don't degrade. Sometimes I'll use cereal. I go to pantries every once in a while. I haven't gone in a while. I need to start going back. I stopped going during the winter because I don't have a way to get there and back, because I can't get through the snow with my cart. And it is, even without the snow, it's really hard to get the cart over the train tracks and up hills and around certain things in town to get to certain pantries. So it's just more difficult for me. But when I go to pantries, sometimes I get cereal that I'm not going to eat, and then I put that cereal in their dinner so that they have a carb that is probably a lot more healthy than cheese puffs. And then, sometimes if you have crackers or like whatever carb snacks you might have that or chips even, that don't have anything in them that aren't isn't safe for them. Definitely nothing with chocolate, for sure. Because it's unlikely that they could get that they would get sick from it, but because it takes a lot, but it's not worth the risk. Because the reason why you can't give your cats caffeine and chocolate is because it makes their heart race, which can cause them, if they get scared for any reason, it can cause them to have a heart attack. So never give your cats chocolate. Never let your cats have chocolate. Never let them anywhere near chocolate. Anything with chocolate in it, you don't want them to have anything to do with it. But yeah, you can use all kinds of different things for the filler, for the carb filler. Just keep in mind what is and isn't healthy for your animals. Just like tortilla chips would be great for it, because tortilla chips are super healthy, like really, really healthy. So tortilla chips are a good option. I eat a lot of tortilla chips. So I always have tortilla chips around the house, because I like Mexican food a lot. Hey! Yeah, that's what I thought. Leave her alone. So I think Katerina is in heat again, because Mordred has been harassing her all night and all morning. He kept me up all night doing it. And her boyfriend Drago was trying to get a little attention from her, I think yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. Sometime this week, Draco was trying to get her attention. But anyway, before I head off with off the video with you guys, I want to remind you guys that I do have picky pads for sale on eBay. I haven't got any views on them yet, except for one. I'm pretty sure it was my mom. and I haven't got, obviously, if I've gotten only one view, I haven't gotten any sales. So, and I did drop the price. And I do have it set up for, if anyone buys more than one, they get discounts. So, and then I did notice too that the ad that I had them on, didn't allow for you guys to, make color choices or, tell me what choice of color you wanted. So I made separate ads for each color. Whatever reason, I wasn't getting any bites, please check out my picky pads on eBay. And I will be expanding on them as soon as I possibly can. I've got 4 colors right now. I've noticed that there's a lot more colors, and I have a lot more ideas than just the ferrite stone picky pads, which I think is an awesome idea, because you get a picky pad that has unlimited remelts, which is the softest substance that I've found for it so far. It's so soft when you pick them out that it's like the most satisfying thing ever. It doesn't hurt my hands, and they come out so easily. They won't fall out, but they come out so easily that it's like you just can't stop. You just can't stop picking at it. So it's the best solution I've found so far, because 1, it feels incredible, and 2, it has unlimited remelts. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, because then people will start stealing my ideas and start making them with the solution that I'm using. I will be using another solution for plastic beads once I can afford to buy that, and get more beads for my different ideas. But I've got a lot of ideas. So I want to get this idea selling before I start adding my other ideas. I have like a large list of ideas. But once I can start getting these ferrite stone picky pads going, selling, then I'll start adding more of my ideas. And I'm gonna start adding more colors too as soon as I start getting some sales. I've got 4 colors right now, and they do come in a resealable jar. So while you're picking, you can bring it in public with you, so you don't you have a place to put your solution while you're picking the beads out. You have the beads obviously stick together because they're ferrite stones. They're magnetic. That's another good reason to be able to take them out in public with you, which is why I decided to go with jars instead of just a picky pad. That's just, you can't take that out in public. You have to have something to put the stuff in so you can bring it with you in public. So I've got the little metal jars, and you just put the beads right back in, the stones right back in the metal jar. And I mean, if you want to discard the silicone and just keep the ferrite stones afterwards, that's perfectly up to you. If you want to keep the solution and remelt it and make a picky pad all over again and repick it, and that's also up to you. That's your choice. But because it's unlimited remelts, you have an unlimited amount of times you can remake this picky pad and play with it. And you can take it out in public and play with it and put it back in the jar and have them stick together because they're magnetic. Hey, leave her alone. But so there's that. I was going with the pricing of other picky pad stores on Etsy. The reason I'm not selling on Etsy is because they charge you every month and I can't afford that. So I might expand to Etsy once my picky pad business starts taking off. Maybe. Um, but until then, eBay, it's a good site to sell from. So, you know, um, but I really want to get these going. I really want to start getting them sold. So please at least check it out. Um, spread the word to your friends, anyone who might be interested in picky pads and fidget toys and whatnot. Um, I really need to get this going because I need the money so I can start spending more money on the channel and um, make more videos. And yes, I know I haven't done any Sunday morning videos and any Saturday self-care Saturday videos in a while, because I'm still recovering from winter. I I intend on doing them during the winter, and then it doesn't happen because I get sick from winter. So, because I do have lupus and fibromyalgia, so I can't function as much in the winter as I would like. So, um, so unfortunately, a lot of my videos just don't happen during the winter. And now that I'm recovering from winter, I will start them back up again, but I've got to recover a little bit, start being able to wake up early in the morning again, so I can get them done. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. Hope you guys liked looking at the kittens, and please check out my picky pads on eBay. Um, I would put a link, but I don't know how to do that. But it shouldn't be hard to find. It's under Cassia Faye Hayden, like my channel name. And when you find it, you'll see my little purple fairy tag on there. That's my picture on my eBay. And I mean, you guys have seen my picky pads, so you'll know them when you see them. But please check out my picky pads. And um, if no one has told you today, you are loved, you are appreciated, you are needed, and you are enough. And don't let anybody tell you any different, because it's true. And don't let anybody make you feel any different. Because insecurity, we're always our harshest critics, and when other people criticize us or try to bring us down, it's really hard to not feel that. So do your best to tell yourself every day that you are loved, you are needed, you are appreciated, you are enough. And anybody who thinks otherwise aren't worth your time. They're just trying to hurt you. So just positive thinking every day. Okay, guys? Positive thinking. Do your best to always think positive. I know it's hard, and I even I have a hard time being positive every single day. Like I had stuff going on this week that was a little bit frustrating, and I was having a bit of a panic attack. But thanks to Sam, always thanks to Sam, because he's the one who fixes everything for me. We figured it out and we fixed it, and he actually helped me fix it, not just with calming me down and helping me figure it out and helping me think clearly and whatnot, and suggestions of how to deal with it and how to fix it. He also donated to fix it, so he put his own money into the problem. So we got the problem fixed. And we have a plan to make sure it doesn't happen again. But you know, it was a frustrating week for the both of us, and honestly, if it weren't for him, I don't know how I would have gotten through it. I probably would have had a huge panic attack and like broken down, and then taken a week to fix it, which would have screwed me over because it needed to be done like within this week. So, but anyway, we figured it out, we fixed it. But like I said, even I have days where it's hard for me to be positive, and you know, you got to do your best. You know, everybody has those bad days, and you know, all you can do is try your best to think positive, try your best to make every day a positive day, and try to find good things in every day, because there are good things in every day. It's just sometimes the bad things are so overwhelming, it's hard to see the good things or notice or appreciate the good things, because those bad things just kind of take over our mind at those times. And I get it. But you got to do your best, you know, because there are good things in every day, and nobody deserves to feel, you know, panicked or scared or hurt or sad or any of the negative feelings that we all have. You know, we need to do our best to try to have as many good feelings and good days as we can, even despite the bad days and the bad moments and the bad situations. We gotta do our best and try. It's the only way we're gonna get through it, because the more you succumb to the bad stuff, the longer it lasts and the harder it is to fix it, and the more it affects you mentally and emotionally. The more you try to put positivity into it, the easier it is to fix it and figure it out and get it done and taken care of, and just be mentally and emotionally stable. So you just got to do your best. I'm not going to tell you that you have to do it, and being upset or having moments is unacceptable. Because that's just not logical. But, you know, we got to try. So, anyway, I hope you guys like this video. The kittens and the suggestions on you know, feeding cats properly, and you know, my picky pads and mental health advice. We're covering it all today. You know, I never know what I'm going to say when I start these videos. I intend on just doing one little thing, and then it ends up turning into this. Because ADHD. This is why I do fidgets and picky pads and whatnot on my channel. Because I have it and I can't control it. But anyway, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. And, you know, you're definitely appreciated here. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.